Okay, Russell Blanchess. Russell?
I won't stand up for your line, I'll put in my legs. I was a bit surprised that none of the panel there candidates mentioned the environment or the effects of climate change.
I did. Green Investment Bank, yes.
Okay, we come to the question and then another answer respond, please.
I'd just like to ask whether any of the candidates would make tackling climate change a priority and how we're going to go about it.
Okay, we'll come to Emma first, then Darren, Becky, Star and Ian in that order.
Well, thank you for your question. That's a really good question. Our party leader in the last Labour government was the Secretary for Energy and Climate Change, and our government back then was at the forefront of trying to push for a global deal at the Copenhagen summit, which it was back then, some 5-6 years ago. But obviously we've got the Paris summit coming up in December, which is the UN's summit to try and bring countries together to commit to reducing carbon emissions and tackling climate change. I think that there's a lot that has been done by the UK, and we committed in legislation when we were in government to targets to bringing down carbon emissions. But I think the only way that we can really successfully tackle climate change is on a global level, and making sure that we are negotiating with the likes of the US and China, some of the biggest emitters, so that we can get all countries to sign up to some ambitious targets to reduce carbon emissions. And only then I think that can we be in a position to really successfully tackle climate change.
Thank you. Darren?
Yes, I do agree. It's a global issue and it needs tackling in a global way. And one of the biggest offenders is the United States of America, and they're not even signed up to Kyoto, and they won't. So what do we do about that? And the thing there is just pressure, I think. It's just, and that's where you need to. Foreign policy comes in, working with Europe comes in as well, and just putting pressure, attending these conferences and meetings and so on, and just driving that agenda. But the problem is, the biggest offenders aren't doing anything about it, and that's what we're going to tackle as well, by putting pressure on them, I think.
Thank you, Darren. Becky?
Yeah. Obviously the Green Party, the environmental manager, reports to us. We want to make achieving international agreement and action to limit the climate change to below 2 degrees Celsius of warming our major foreign policy. We're 17th out of 25th in the European Renewable Energy League table, so we will invest an £85 billion public programme of renewable electricity generation, flood defences and building insulation, because we have the highest level of fuel poverty in Western Europe. In Wolverhampton, the age group that struggles the most with fuel poverty is actually 16 to 19-year-old group. We'll push for local living and looking at consumerism. You know, if you don't want pollution in China, other countries, then perhaps don't buy some of the products that are produced there. We need to cut emissions by providing cheaper public transport and encouraging cycling and walking due to local-based economies. And we will support local sustainable agriculture with respect for animals and wild places. And the Green Party does recognise climate change is real and it really must be tackled.
Thank you very much. Star?
Well, environment and climate change. A lot of us are climate sceptics, a lot of us are not. But, however, UKIP would encourage and ensure that only homes are built on brownfield sites and not on greenfield sites. That will change a lot of things. We've got to keep the green belt. We would also get rid of HS2. HS2 will tear up so much of our green spaces and our ancient woodlands and everything else. It's a non-starter, so that would be our main things for this parliament.
Thank you. Ian?
Climate change, the threat of climate change, Russell, it requires drastic action. We have to recognise the pickle we're in with regard to the state we're at with climate change. Some of it is now irreversible in my view. We therefore have to address sustainable energy. We have to, we're happy with wind farms, especially offshore, tidal power, solar power, hydroelectric power. I think it's important that all new houses built should be sustainable. They are not. I'm involved in the job as part of the building industry. I can tell you about the fuss that house builders make on any action taken to improve insulation in homes. We have to face up to them and get the extra insulation through. We are still way behind other countries in Europe as regards insulation in housing. Transport, absolutely right, we do need to have more sustainable transport and get people out of their cars onto public transport, and particularly get goods off the road onto sustainable transport, which is why HS2 is being built. It is to
Rubbish.
It is rubbish, is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
It's a rich man's toy, that's all.
We don't have time for questions.
Absolute rubbish. Well, stop telling rubbish then.
You're wrong.
Up to rubbish, man.
Thank you.